Have you ever shaken someone's hand and felt like your wrist just disappeared in theirs? You work out, you eat, you try, but no matter what, your wrists stay small, almost embarrassingly thin compared to everyone else at the gym. And here's the thing nobody tells you. It's not because you're weak. It's not because of bad genetics. It's because you're completely ignoring one of the most trainable parts of your body, and science actually backs up why that's a massive mistake. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your wrists are so thin, what's actually going on biologically, and the specific exercises that will start fixing that fast. Stay with me, because the last part is where most people drop the ball.
All right, let's get into the science, because this is where it gets interesting. Your wrist isn't actually one big bone. It's made up of 8 small carpal bones, held together by tendons and ligaments, and surrounded by 2 major forearm muscle groups, the flexors and the extensors. Now, here's the key insight most people miss. The size of your wrist is influenced by 2 separate things. Number 1, bone density and structure. Your wrist bones, like all bones, respond to mechanical loading. Research published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research confirms that resistance training increases bone mineral density, especially at sites that are directly loaded. Thin wrists, often undertrained wrists. Number 2, the muscles and tendons of your forearm. The forearm muscles, flexor carpi radialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, the brachioradialis, they attach right down near the wrist. When these grow, they add size and thickness to the entire lower arm and wrist area.
So when people say wrists are all bone, you can't change them, they're only half right. Yes, the joint itself is bone, but the muscles surrounding it, completely trainable. And here's the biological kicker. Forearm muscles are incredibly dense in slow-twitch muscle fibers. That means they respond best to high-volume, high-frequency training. Most people never train them directly. They're leaving massive gains on the table.
Okay, so now let's build your complete protocol. These are the exact steps, backed by research, that will make a visible difference in 6 to 10 weeks. Step 1. Train forearms 3 times per week. Research from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research shows that high-frequency training of small muscle groups leads to superior hypertrophy compared to once-a-week approaches. 3 days per week, not optional. Step 2. Use the full rep range. Wrist curls, 15 to 25 reps. Reverse wrist curls, 12 to 20 reps. The forearm responds to higher reps because of its slow twitch fiber composition. Go light, go slow, go full range of motion.
Step 3. Add grip loading every session. Farmer's carries, dead hangs, towel pull-ups, these load the tendons and carpal bones directly. Tendon adaptation takes 8 to 12 weeks, so start now. This is the part most people skip. Don't be most people. Step 4, progressive overload. Always. Every week, either add a little weight or add a rep. Wrists adapt like any other structure. They need progressive stress. Track it. A cheap notebook or your phone notes app is enough.
One more thing. If your wrists feel painful during training, stop. Wrist pain during flexion or extension can indicate tendinopathy or joint irritation. See a physiotherapist before pushing through. Consistency over injury, always. So, if you start the protocol I just laid out today, 3 sessions a week, 4 exercises, progressive overload, you will see a difference in 6 to 10 weeks. Not overnight, but real, visible, measurable change. That's how biology works. Stimulus, adaptation, growth. Drop a comment below. Tell me if you've ever specifically trained your wrists and forearms, or if today is day 1. I read every single one. And if this video gave you something useful, hit subscribe. We cover fitness, health science, and the evidence behind building a better body.